So, today's video log is about Kung Fu and what's wrong with Kung Fu these days. In my opinion, Kung Fu has become weak. If you look at all the different martial arts videos all over the internet where you always have this Kung Fu guy getting knocked out by some MMA fighter, and they're like, oh, why is the Kung Fu master always getting knocked out by the MMA fighter? Kung Fu is no good. Kung Fu doesn't work. Kung Fu this, Kung Fu that. And, alright, let me break down why this is happening. As an instructor of Kung Fu, the obvious answer is the fact that these masters have never been in any real fights. They don't spar, and they've either never trained full contact, or they've never trained where the uke is resisting the technique. So let's say that I'm using a stance like this in Kung Fu. Let's say I'm all out like this and I'm fighting, and the guy pushes my arm to the side and just cracks me in the face. Alright, now I know, okay, we can't be holding our arms out like this and having our guard like this. We gotta try to bring it in a little bit more. We gotta bring this guard hand up a little higher and adjust it, maybe come sideways a little bit. So when that strike comes in, we at least have some kind of a chance that we can guard here, or at the very least we can cover. And a lot of Kung Fu, they teach a lot of these blockings where you do all these different motions, internal blocks, and they're all real soft. They're based upon push hands and chi sao, and they're not able to block straight line strikes or overhead rights or hooks, and people are getting caught right in the jaw. Basically, it's not the Kung Fu that doesn't work, it's the fact that these Kung Fu masters are not training in fighting. You can be a master of the martial arts, but still be a horrible fighter. A good example of this would be, people get a 10th degree black belt in whatever art it is, but then they go to some bar or something, and for some reason they get caught in the face, or they get kicked in the balls, or they get taken to the ground by some wrestling technique or some grappling technique. The problem with traditional martial arts is the fact that a lot of them are not taught out of a reality conceptual basis. Kung Fu works against Kung Fu, karate works against karate, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu works against Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But the more effective arts are going to be the arts that preach full contact sparring, grappling, rolling, arts like Muay Thai, boxing, Sanda. These are going to be your more legitimate styles of martial arts. So, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with Kung Fu. Kung Fu itself is great. It's great for your body. It's great for your mind. And it can help in self-defense. But no art, no matter what it is going to be effective against a real opponent unless you train in that art against resisting opponents in different parameters and environments. So, myself, for example, to make my Kung Fu better, I went and joined a boxing gym, and I take boxing lessons, I take Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu lessons, and I'm training in combat systems to complement the Kung Fu that I'm already doing. So I'm getting, it's a more realistic approach to it. To say that a Kung Fu person cannot survive combat sports, that's not really true, because I'm doing combat sports twice a week and I'm surviving just fine. I'm sitting here talking to you. Yeah, I've been punched in the face and twisted around a little bit, and I always get punched in the face and twisted around, but so does everybody else that trains in MMA or boxing. That's what happens. You go to practice and you get beat up. And in the process of getting beaten up over and over and training and doing the best you can, you eventually begin to alter your fighting style in a way that works in sparring, in a way that works in grappling. At first you go in there and you just get your ass kicked. You get socked from every which angle, and you're just like, man, what the fuck's going on? I'm getting my ass beat. And then after a while you learn, oh, okay, we can't do all this type of bullshit. We gotta, alright, someone throws a strike at you. You gotta cover. You gotta cover yourself up. You can't just circle it or Ip Man it. Real fighting is not the Ip Man movies, and you stand a much better chance at just having a good guard or covering. There's not really going to be a lot of wax on, wax off, or chi sao going on within an actual fight. So, in order to learn how to fight, you have to actually train with fighters. So, what I'm saying is, Kung Fu masters and Kung Fu instructors could be very deadly in the ring. Obviously, you're not going to kill anybody in the ring. You're not trying to be deadly in the ring, but you get what I'm trying to say. A Kung Fu instructor could be highly effective in the ring, but first they would have to learn how to fight against other systems. They would have to learn how to fight against resisting opponents. They would have to spar and roll and grapple against different mixed martial arts practitioners. So Kung Fu can work very well, but in order for it to do so, it needs to start cross-training with boxing and MMA, like I do. And maybe Kung Fu will be a lot less weak. Anyways, that's the video log for today. Hopefully it was insightful. Have a good one.